It's been a bizarre year in real estate. And, one of the things that we as real estate professionals have been factoring in is that it's an election year. But I started thinking, does that really matter? And I went looking around and I really couldn't find a whole lot of definitive data. So I thought I'd crunch the numbers for you. So take a look at this. It's pretty interesting. I went ahead and pulled out each of the areas within Williamson County, and then I also pulled out Travis County and Williamson County, and I ran the data on the number of closed sales from the years 2008 up to 2024. And of course, we don't have a full year right now, but I ran the data that we had. And it was interesting. It doesn't appear that the election matters at all. The presidential elections matter at all. What does appear to matter to people is their financial position and how secure they're feeling, where interest rates are, how affordable things are, how secure they're feeling in their jobs. It doesn't appear to matter whether it's an election year or not. I did also go through and take a look at the data using the filter of growth years, because clearly there are areas within Williamson County that are more landlocked than others, like when you think about Round Rock West, for instance, versus a Jarrell or Georgetown. There are a lot more places to grow and to expand. In Round Rock West, it's pretty much built out. So I thought that would be a really interesting area to look at in particular for this, because you wouldn't be able to add just a bunch of new homes to jump the data. And what I found with Round Rock West was that, from 2008 to 2009, we saw a decline in the number of transactions. So in 2008, we had 1,220 transactions, and then 2009 dropped to 1,077. Now, when we went from, 2011 to 2012, there was actually almost a 200 transaction gain. Same thing from 2012 to 2013. When we look at the 2016 election, we did see a drop off from 2015 to 2016 by not quite 100 transactions, but then it was stable from 2016 to 17. And then looking at the 2020 election, there were actually 1,155 transactions in 2019. And then in 2020, we saw it drop to 1,070. I thought that was interesting. It did jump back up to, it did remain even at 1,099 through 2021. So then that got me thinking, well, I wonder if there's a difference between Travis County and Williamson County, because we have, Travis County is notoriously blue and Williamson County is notoriously red. So how did that shake out? Well, it turns out it doesn't really matter. Really interesting to me. It really was fairly stable. And I thought, okay, 2020 was an interesting election. I think we can all agree, for whatever reasons however we feel, not going to get into it. But I thought, well, let's take a look and see how everybody reacted. So from 2019 to 2020 in Travis County, 2019 saw 16,074 transactions. 2020 saw 16,646 transactions. In Williamson County in 2019, there were 11,828 transactions, and it went up to 13,021 transactions. So it actually increased. And then going from 2020 to 2021 in both counties, it essentially remained stable. And I thought that was really interesting, because that was a year where, depending on how you view the world, you might have felt good or bad, but it didn't seem to matter in either case, insofar as how many transactions there were, by a whole lot. Anyway, I hope you find this data interesting. I know I certainly did. The net of it is, when people feel good about things, they move forward, and when they don't feel good about things, they don't, and it doesn't seem to matter if it's an election year or not. All right, y'all take care. Bye.